Most gardeners quit composting because it feels painfully slow. You wait months, sometimes nearly a year, before that pile of scraps finally turns into rich, crumbly soil food. But what if I told you there's an old trick, proven by generations of gardeners, that can cut composting time in half? This isn't guesswork or hype. It's a method that still works today, and if you use it correctly, you can transform kitchen and garden waste into finished compost in just weeks instead of months. When your compost breaks down faster, you don't just save time, you unlock nutrients at the exact moment your plants need them. Quick compost means less smelly piles sitting around and more consistent organic matter ready to feed your soil. The faster you can complete one batch, the sooner you can start the next, creating a steady flow of living fertilizer that keeps your garden thriving all year long. The secret is adding a natural activator that kicks microbial activity into high gear. The most reliable and time-tested option is yeast and sugar water. This combination feeds and multiplies the microbes responsible for breaking down organic matter, turning a passive compost pile into a living furnace of decomposition. When microbes are well fed and balanced, they generate heat, speed, and efficiency. Gardeners have been quietly using this for decades, but today it has almost been forgotten. Here's the exact formula. Dissolve 2 tablespoons of dry yeast and 4 tablespoons of white sugar into 2 liters of lukewarm water. Stir well until fully dissolved. Pour this evenly across your compost pile, preferably when turning it for aeration. This is enough for a medium-sized pile about 3 feet wide and 3 feet tall. For larger piles, you can double or triple the formula, always keeping the proportions the same. Yeast is a living organism, and when combined with sugar, it becomes active almost immediately. In compost, this accelerates microbial multiplication. Think of it as flipping the on switch for billions of decomposers. Instead of slowly waiting for the pile to heat up, you create a surge of activity that pushes decomposition into overdrive. The yeast consumes the sugar, releasing enzymes and stimulating bacteria and fungi that chew through plant material at record speed. Adding the activator alone won't do all the work. To truly cut composting time in half, you must also give microbes the perfect environment. The first step is balance. Compost needs a mix of greens, nitrogen-rich materials like food scraps, coffee grounds, and fresh grass clippings, and browns, carbon-rich materials like dry leaves, shredded cardboard, and straw. Aim for roughly 2 parts browns to 1 part greens. Too much green makes your pile slimy and smelly, while too much brown slows everything down. The second step is moisture. Compost should feel like a wrung-out sponge, moist but never soggy. If it dries out, microbes go dormant. If it's waterlogged, oxygen disappears and rot sets in. Each time you add the yeast activator, check the pile's moisture. If it feels dry, add a little water. The third step is oxygen. Microbes can only work at high speed if they can breathe. That means turning your pile every 7 to 10 days. Each time you turn, sprinkle on the yeast solution, mixing it in so it reaches all layers. Within days, you should notice the pile heating up, even steaming if the weather is cool. With this method, some gardeners have finished compost in as little as 4 to 6 weeks, compared to the usual 4 to 6 months. Of course, speed depends on climate, pile size, and materials, but the difference is dramatic. If you maintain the right balance, keep it moist, and give it air, your compost will shrink quickly and transform into dark, earthy material with no foul smell. One of the biggest mistakes is overdoing the sugar. More sugar doesn't mean faster compost. Excess sugar can actually cause imbalance, feeding the wrong microbes and creating odor. Stick to the exact formula provided. Another mistake is ignoring the pile after adding the activator. If you don't turn it and provide oxygen, the yeast can't do its job effectively. Finally, don't pour the solution on a completely dry or overly wet pile. Microbes only thrive in balanced conditions, so always check moisture first. While yeast and sugar are the core of this trick, you can, Boost results further by adding finely crushed eggshells for calcium, coffee grounds for nitrogen, or a small handful of finished compost as a starter. These add diversity to your microbial community, helping break down tough materials like woody stems or thick leaves. Some gardeners also sprinkle a small amount of garden soil in between layers to introduce additional beneficial microbes. These days, modern composting gadgets, bins, and accelerators are everywhere. But, the old methods really continue to prove themselves. The yeast and sugar trick works because it relies on biology, not on expensive inputs. It's inexpensive, safe, and available in almost every household. Instead of complicating compost, it harnesses the same microbial principles that nature has used for millions of years. So, here's the complete process for having your composting time. First, build your pile with a good mix of greens and browns, aiming for at least 3 feet wide and tall for proper heat retention. Keep it moist like a wrung sponge. Next, dissolve 2 tablespoons of dry yeast and 4 tablespoons of sugar in 2 liters of lukewarm water. Pour this evenly over the pile while turning it for aeration. Repeat every 10 to 14 days when you turn again. Be sure to monitor heat, smell, and moisture. Within weeks, you'll notice the pile shrinking, darkening, and sweetening into usable compost. This isn't just an old gardener's tale, it's a proven method that saves time, money, and frustration. By activating your compost with yeast and sugar water, and by maintaining the right balance of air, moisture, and materials, you can really transform the way you garden. Healthy, nutrient-rich compost faster means healthier soil, stronger plants, and, bigger harvests. If you found this guide helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Master Gardener for more powerful, time-tested gardening techniques, and share this video with fellow gardeners who are tired of waiting months for compost. Together, let's bring back these old tricks that still work better than ever.